Let's get right into it. Have you ever jolted awake at exactly 3 a.m., feeling wired or uneasy and instantly wondered, why now? Whether you chalk it up to bad dreams or something spookier, you're not alone. Tonight, we're going deep on the surprising and sometimes unsettling reasons you keep waking up at that infamous hour. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one. Number 7. The mind's midnight mischief. It's pitch dark, the city's silent, you're finally asleep, until, out of nowhere, you snap awake at 3 a.m., heart racing, mind already spinning. What gives? Turns out your own thoughts are sometimes the culprit. Psychologists have a term for this: nocturnal rumination. All those worries you stash away during the day? They love making surprise appearances when you're least ready for them, especially between 2 and 4 a.m., when your brain's in its lightest, most vulnerable sleep phase. See, while you're dreaming, your mind sifts through memories, anxieties, and unsolved problems. But if you're stressed or anxious, those worries bubble up and break the surface, pushing you out of sleep. Your body's stress hormones can spike too, leaving you alert for no apparent reason. And the worst part, once you're up, it's easy to start catastrophizing, spiraling from "I'm awake" to "my whole life is a mess." But here's the kicker. The content of your late-night thoughts usually reflects what's on your mind during the day. So, if you're stewing in stress or unresolved issues, your 3 a.m. brain will keep the party going. If your thoughts drag you out of sleep, try giving yourself a mental break during the day. You might just buy yourself a little more peace at night. Number 6. The witching hour and your ancient sleep cycle. Picture this. It's 1620. There's no electricity, no phones, just a flickering candle and the sounds of the forest outside. People back then didn't just sleep in one solid chunk, they practiced something called segmented sleep. They'd drift off after sundown, wake up around midnight or 1 a.m. for an hour or two, then go back to sleep until morning. That in-between period was prime time for reflection, creativity, or even a midnight snack. Now, jump to the present. Science says your internal clock, your circadian rhythm, still carries echoes of those ancient patterns. Even with blackout curtains and melatonin gummies, your body remembers the old ways. Around 3 a.m., your core temperature is at its lowest, your blood pressure drops, and your REM cycles start to shift. This is the most fragile moment in your sleep architecture. If something's even a little off, like light pollution, a random noise, or just your own restless mind, you're more likely to wake up. But there's another twist: hormone cycles. Your body's production of melatonin, the sleep hormone, starts to decline around 3 a.m., while cortisol, the get-up-and-go hormone, begins to rise, prepping you for morning. If you're stressed or your rhythms are disrupted, that cortisol spike can hit early, jolting you out of deep sleep before you're ready. Why did this pattern stick around for so long? Some sleep scientists believe it was an evolutionary survival strategy. Waking up in the middle of the night kept people alert to potential dangers, a crackling fire, an approaching predator, or just the neighbor snoring a little too loudly. So if you find yourself wide-eyed at 3 a.m., don't blame yourself. You might just be following a rhythm as old as humanity itself, one designed to keep you alive, even if it means sacrificing a little shut-eye. The next time you wake up at that hour, remind yourself that your body is wired for ancient patterns, and sometimes the best you can do is ride out the rhythm. Number 5. The liver hour when your body speaks up. Ever heard of the liver hour? In traditional Chinese medicine, every organ has its own time slot for maximum activity, and 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. is reserved for your liver. The liver's job? Detoxifying, filtering, and recharging you for the next day. So, if you're up at 3 a.m., practitioners say it might be your liver waving a red flag, especially if you've been stressed, drinking alcohol, or eating late. Modern medicine might not buy into organ clocks, but there's a real physiological link. Your liver is working overtime after a heavy meal or late-night drinks. If it gets overwhelmed, or if your blood sugar dips, you can get a jolt that pulls you out of sleep. Some people even report waking up thirsty, nauseated, or just off when their liver's out of sync. It's easy to brush this off as superstition, but sometimes traditions stick around because there's a kernel of truth buried inside. So if you're consistently waking up at 3 a.m., take a closer look at what you're eating and drinking before bed. Your body might be trying to send you a message. Number 4. Haunted by shadows, sleep paralysis at 3 a.m. Imagine waking up, completely frozen, unable to move or scream. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a dark figure lurking in the shadows. Your chest feels heavy, as if someone or something is sitting on it. The clock blinks. 3:12 a.m. This isn't the plot of a horror movie. It's called sleep paralysis, and it peaks in the hours before dawn, often right around 3 a.m. During REM sleep, your brain shuts down your voluntary muscles to keep you from acting out your dreams. But sometimes, you wake up mentally while your body is still locked down. That's when things get weird. People experiencing sleep paralysis often report terrifying hallucinations, shadowy figures, strange voices, or a crushing weight on their chest. Throughout history, cultures all over the world have tried to make sense of this. In Newfoundland, it's the old hag. In Japan, it's kanashibari, or the bound state. Modern science says these visions are just your brain trying to make sense of being awake but paralyzed, stuck between dream and reality. But here's what makes it truly disturbing. These episodes are more common in people who are sleep-deprived, anxious, or experiencing big life stressors. Your brain, already on edge, basically sends you a midnight horror show. And the reason it happens most often in the early hours? That's when REM sleep is longest and deepest. If your sleep gets interrupted, especially by stress or bad habits, you're more likely to wake up in the middle of REM and get trapped in that liminal state. So, if you've ever felt haunted in the dead of night, remember, it's just your brain pulling tricks, but it might be a sign you need more rest, not less. If you want to avoid those shadowy visitors, focus on getting enough sleep and keeping a steady bedtime sometimes. Routine is the best ghostbuster. Number 3. Midnight snacks and the 3M curse. There's nothing like a late-night pizza binge or a sneaky bowl of ice cream before bed, until you find yourself wide awake at 3 a.m., regretting everything. What's the deal? Your body isn't just digesting food, it's also balancing your blood sugar and hormones as you sleep. If you chow down on sugar, carbs, or caffeine late at night, your blood sugar spikes and then crashes, causing a surge in adrenaline and cortisol. That hormonal roller coaster can yank you out of deep sleep, right on schedule for an early morning wake-up. The effect can be subtle. Maybe you don't even realize what woke you up, but your body remembers. And the more often you indulge late at night, the more you reinforce the habit of interrupted sleep. Small changes to your evening routine, like cutting out heavy meals or sweet snacks before bed, could make all the difference the next morning. Number 2. Sentinel sleep, the ancient night watcher. Ever wonder if waking up at 3 a.m. might be hardwired into your DNA? Anthropologists have a theory. In prehistoric times, humans slept in groups, with a few sentinels waking up throughout the night to keep watch for danger. Think of it as the original neighborhood watch, powered by biology instead of group text chains. Studies of present-day hunter-gatherer societies reveal that people's sleep schedules are naturally staggered. At any given hour, someone's awake guarding the camp, listening for predators or tending to the fire. This pattern, called sentinel sleep, kept the group safe. Even in the modern world, your brain hasn't fully let go of those survival instincts. That's why you might jolt awake in the middle of the night, hyper-aware of every creak and whisper. Your brain scans the darkness for threats imagined or real, even if the only danger is your cat plotting mischief in the hallway. This primitive alertness can be heightened by stress, anxiety, or even unfamiliar surroundings. Hotel rooms, new apartments, or noisy neighborhoods can all activate your inner night watchman. And it's not just about danger. This middle-of-the-night alertness sometimes shows up when you're waiting for big news, anxious about a test, or about to make a life change. Your brain, ever vigilant, refuses to fully relax when it senses uncertainty. In a world that never truly sleeps, your body's ancient security system is still running in the background, protecting you from threats that may no longer exist, but feel just as real in the dead of night. Next time you wake up at 3 a.m. feeling hyper-alert, try to appreciate the ancient instincts that got your ancestors through the night. It's survival, not sabotage. Number 1. Health alarms in the dead of night. Sometimes waking up at 3 a.m. isn't about stress, ancient instincts, or snack regrets. Sometimes it's your body's way of waving a red flag. Medical experts say conditions like sleep apnea, acid reflux, or hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, are common culprits behind sudden early morning wake-ups. With sleep apnea, your airway gets blocked during sleep, jolting you awake as your body fights for oxygen. Acid reflux can flare up when you're lying flat, sending stomach acid up your esophagus and making you cough, choke, or just feel plain miserable. Low blood sugar is another sneaky cause, especially for people with diabetes or anyone who skipped dinner. The brain needs glucose to keep you asleep, so if levels drop, your body releases stress hormones that act like an internal alarm clock. The important thing? These wake-ups aren't just annoying, they're clues. If you're regularly waking up gasping, sweating, or with a racing heart, it's worth checking in with your doctor. Don't ignore the signal. Your body might be asking for help. So, if your nights are feeling restless, Give your health a second look sometimes. Peace of mind is just one good conversation away. If you're still with me, you've just unlocked some of the creepiest and most eye-opening reasons for those 3 a.m. wake-ups. If you're into weird science, wild history, or just want better sleep, hit subscribe. We've got more deep dives and midnight mysteries coming your way. And next time you're staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., remember, you're not broken, you're just human, and your body and brain are way more interesting than you think. Sleep well, and keep your curiosity alive even in the middle of the night.